In this video, we will discuss about split a string into the max number of unique substrings. Given a string S, return the maximum number of unique substrings that the given string can be split into. So what they are saying is that in the input, we are given a string and we need to split this string into some number of substrings such that each substring is unique, right? And you need to maximize this number of substrings. And then whatever can be the maximum number of unique substrings in which this string can be split into, that you need to return as your answer, right? For example, for this test case, if I take A, right, and then I take B, and then I take AB, and then I take C, and then CC, right? So this is one of the possible ways to split it. If you will concatenate all these substrings, you will get this string only, right? So this is one of the possible splits that we can do for this string, right? So now you need to identify all such splits, and then whichever has the maximum number of substrings, that you need to return as your answer, the maximum number of strings. Okay, so now tell me one thing, that when are your number of substrings going to be maximum? When can you make your number of substrings maximum? If you try to split this string into substrings of less lengths, right? If you try to create a substring and you try to have its length as less as possible, then you will be able to create more number of substrings out of this string, right? So let's suppose if I create all the substrings of length 1, then that will be the maximum number of substrings that I can get, right? But in this case, what will happen is that there will be some substrings which will be repeated, because here A is present here also and here also, then that two substrings A and A will be duplicates, right? So we cannot just split it into lengths of 1, right? So what we'll try to do is that we'll try to split the string into substrings of length 1, and then wherever we cannot do for length 1, then we'll go for length 2. If for length 2 also it is not possible, there is some duplicate of it present, then we'll try length 3, and so on until we get to the end, right? So we are starting with the smallest length possible so that we can get the maximum number of substrings, right? So since in the question the maximum length of this string given to us is 16, so we will try every possible combination, right? So we'll try every possible combination. So first we'll start with a substring of length 1, then we'll start with a substring of length 2, then length 3, and so on till the end, right? So first I'm saying that the substring that I'm considering is A, right? Because it is first substring of length 1. Then I'm saying that I will consider a substring of length 2. So I will take AB, right? Then I'll take ABA, then ABAB, then I can take ABABC, then I can take ABABCC, and then I can take ABABCCC, right? I can start with all of these. Now, if I consider this A, so once I have considered A, then that means I cannot take A further. If I'll go down this path, I cannot take A as a substring again, because then it will be a duplicate. So for that purpose, we will maintain a set. So set always store unique elements, right? So we can use set for our purpose, and whatever substrings we are considering at any given point of time, that we will keep in our set, so that whenever we go further down this path, we can check whether a particular substring has been already considered or not, right? So when you will be here at that time, in your set A would be present as a substring, right? Now after this A, if you have considered one substring of length A, now after this, how can you split it? After this, you can take B, you can take BA, you can take BAB, and so on, right? So I'll just write them here. So after A, you can take B, you can take BA, you can take BAB, then you can take BABAC, then you can take BABCC, right? Then you can take BABACCC, right? Now let's consider this B. Now so at this point you have considered two substrings, one is A and one is B, right? So in your set A and B would be present, right? Now when you come at here, after this B, what all can we take? We can take A, we can take AB, we can take ABC, and so on, right? So let's write all of them here. We can take A, we can take AB, we can take ABC, we can take ABCC, and we can take ABCCC, right? Now at this point A, can we consider this A? If you see this path, A is already considered as a substring, right? At this point, A and B would already be present in your set. So you will see that A is already present in my set, then that means I have already considered A as a substring. So at this point, I cannot take A as a substring. So for this step, I'll just stop here, right? This cannot be considered further. Then coming towards AB. Now after AB, it was this, right? So after this, what you can take? You can take this C, length 1, then length 2, CC, then length 3, CCC, right? Let's just write it here. So C, CC and CCC, this you can take, right? Now after this, when you are at this C, next you are remaining with two characters, two C's, right? So you can either take one C or you can take two C's, right? So at this point, C we had already considered, right? So we cannot take this C again, right? So here we'll stop. Then coming towards this path, so here we have taken CC. This is okay because we have not taken CC earlier, right? Now you check for further characters. Now you will see that you have traversed your entire string. You are at the end of your string. You do not have any characters to consider further, right? Then that means when you are at the end of your string, this is one of the possible splits that you can have for this particular string, right? And when you are at this point, all of these substrings will be present inside your set, right? So can I say that whatever is the size of my set, that is the number of substrings in which I have split this string, right? So A, B, A, B, C, and C, C. All of these will be present in my set. My set size will be 5, and here also the number of substrings are 5. So I can take a maxi variable, and whenever I have finished with all the characters, I am able to generate one of the possible splits. At that time, I will update my maximum with the maximum value. So what I'll do is that maxi equals to maximum of maxi, comma, your set's size at that point, right? And another thing that you should keep in mind is that let's suppose you are at this point, right? So for considering its branches, you would have inserted C inside your set, right? Now when you are done with this, you will come back here to AB again, right? Now for considering the other branches of AB, this C should not be present in your set, right? So once you are done with this path of C and now you are backtracking to AB, then at that point you should erase this C, that is this substring, from your set, right? So first we will insert the substring that we are considering into the set, and after we are done with its recursive call, we will erase it from the set for further calls. Okay, so I hope you got the gist of the problem. Let's code it out, and looking at the code, you will be able to understand better whatever we are trying to achieve. So what we'll do is we need an answer variable, right, which will store our maximum number of substrings, right? Then we need a set which will store our substrings, and we'll name it scene, okay? Then let's create a function which will perform our recursive call, okay? It won't return us anything. What should we name it? Let's create it a helper function, okay? You can name it whatever you want. Now what it will receive your string, the original string, right? Then the start value from wherever you are considering the start of your substring, that you will pass in this variable. Another, we need the set. So same set we will use for all the recursion calls. So we will pass it by reference. Okay. So scene. Now what will happen in this helper function, that we need to consider all the substrings of length 1, then 2, then 3, and so on till the end, right? Which are starting from the current character, which is start, right? What I'm saying is we will consider all the substrings starting from this start of length 1, 2, 3, and so on till the end. And out of them, you will check what is their length, and then you will update your answer variable accordingly, right? So we will send the answer variable also here so that we can update it, right? So now here what we'll do is we'll run a loop which will start from 1, and we'll check that start plus I should be less than equals to s dot length and I plus plus. Why we are doing this? This I is denoting that what is the length of our substring that we are considering. First we want the length as 1, then we want the length as 2, then 3, and then so on till the end. And because this start will not always be 0, it can be any index in your string, right? So you should check that start plus I should be less than equals to your length, right? Then what we'll do is we want the substring. We want the substring, let's suppose C, okay? Then that substring will be taken out from the string s. It will start from the start variable. And what are the number of characters that you want? That is I, right? So in the first iteration, you will get a substring of length 1 starting at start index. Then in the second iteration, you will get a substring of length 2 starting at start index of the string s, right? Now once you have taken out your substring, now what you will check that is it a valid substring that you can take or not? And how will you check that? You will see that if this substring is already present in your set, meaning if scene dot contains C, then that means we cannot consider this substring, so we will stop here. So what we'll do, we'll continue. That we cannot take this substring into consideration. So now let's move on to the next substring of length plus 1, right? So now if it is not present in our set, then that means it is a unique substring and we can consider it, right? So in that case, what we'll do is, since we are considering it now, so we will insert it inside our set. So we'll insert C inside our set. Now after we have inserted, now we will check for other possible substrings, right? So we will call our helper function again. At this point, the string S will remain as is. Now what will be your start? Your start will be start plus I, because whatever substring we have considered right now, this C, now whatever is the next character after this substring, from that character we need to start now, right? So start will become start plus I, right? Scene will remain as is, answer will remain as is, right? Now after this recursive call finishes, as I said, we need to erase this C from our set for further calls, right? So what we'll do, scene dot erase C, right? Now, what will be the base condition for our helper function? As I said, whenever you reach the end of your string, that point you will have a valid split of your string, right? And you can update your answer with the size of set, right? So your base case will be that if your start becomes equals to the length of s, right? Then in that case, what you will do is answer will be maximum of answer comma the size of your set, right? Now this size function returns the value in some other data type, so we'll cast it into integer, otherwise it will give you compilation error, right? Now once you have updated your answer variable, you can return from here, right? Because we have reached the end. So now here we'll call this helper function. So in this helper function, we will pass the string s. Then we want to pass the start. Start will initially be 0. Then we want to pass the set. And then we want to pass the answer variable, right? So after all of this happens, your answer will be present in this answer variable. So we will simply return answer, right? So let's run this. So our test cases are accepted. Now let's submit this. So it got accepted. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe our channel.